here. Get rid of that. Boop, boop, boop. Let's move over here. All right, I think we're good to go. Hello, welcome. Let's do a quick recap. Where did we leave off last? We fought a couple things. We went to a little floating island, and on the island we got attacked by fish people that were like kobold class or species of kobold, breaking stuff. Oh my goodness. Species of kobold, and they swarmed us and tried to kill us. We lost Francis, the member of the party who joined us after getting freed from working under what's her name? The very prissy lady. Um, and after which they escaped and um, or we escaped, and on our way to the island, a flying jellyfish that drifts above the earth with its tentacles floating around, just touching the tips of those tentacles touching the water, so hopefully it finds anything. Landed right over our ship, and we had to fight it. And I had to fight off one giant tentacle while the rest of the party fought off another one, which I have opinions. I feel like I could have been helped. Um, and that's where we left off. After fighting that, a little bit farther down the line, we found, as you can see in the screen there, we found the Oki Island. And that's where we left off. I need to post in Discord. Where's Discord? Which Discord? This one. I am working on getting my um, let me just copy link. All right. Posted that I'm streaming in Discord. Wonderful. With that, we just arrived at Oki Island, and that's where the adventure will continue. Let's go. 246. Is it giving me the correct numbers? Chapter 5, Oki Island. see. I gotta remember the voices. Let me clear my throat because starting off with the captain is a tricky one. All right.
Right, you lot. Come with me.
Captain Randy calls, waving Rain down from the rigging before hauling Opal, Ribcage, and you. Before hailing Opal, Ribcage, and you, everyone follows him to the bow. He turns to face the small assembled group.
Until you step into the unknown, you don't know what you're made of. Load up the longboats to Oki Island.
A few crew members stay behind in case the Rapier Wit needs to make a quick getaway. For example, if a volcano erupts, you know, things like that. But the rest of you rowed ashore. The beach is bare, littered only with long strands of seaweed and larger than average shells, but quickly becomes thickets of bamboo growing so densely that they cause a natural barrier through which you'll have to make your way. The captain groans, looking upward, upward, upward toward the canopy, over 50 feet above his head.
Look, do any of you have a problem going inland? That thing won't erupt anytime soon. I know volcanoes. But if anyone has any concerns, you best raise them now.
The volcano gives a low rumble as if wishing to prove him wrong. The goblin blinks.
Well, we'll probably be gone by the time it erupts. And if it goes off before we find the treasure, it will be lost forever.
Rain crosses their arms across their chest. Fine, I'll come with you, Captain. But only because I'm sure you'll get yourself killed if I don't.
Opal?
She purses her lips. I don't like this, Captain. That thing seems dangerous at best, and deadly at worst. The captain groans.
Spoil sport. Ribcage?
The bugbear stares at the volcano for a long moment before letting out a huff. He pulls out a silver hairbrush and starts brushing his fur with it. The captain shakes his head.
It's not that bad. But put the brush away. I assure you there's nothing to be afraid of.
The bugbear reluctantly returns the brush to a pouch at his belt. He looks at Rain, who pats him reassuringly on the arm, though they pointedly avoid eye contact.
Everyone satisfied now?
The captain asks. There's a general murmur of assent.
All right. Well, see if you can find a better way forward. Otherwise, let's hope we have our bamboo hacking arms on.
Hang on, Captain. Look! Opal points down the beach a bit, where some of the bamboo has been disturbed. A path has been trodden through it, as some huge inhabitant of the island forced its way through. The captain murmurs, wiggling a tooth as he examines the bamboo. Wiggling it. Huh.
We could forge our own path, or take a chance on running into whatever made that. Wait, what's that?
Captain points at a large arrow down in the sand that you are sure wasn't there before. It points unambiguously towards the path cut through the bamboo. At the point of the arrow sits the jeweled egg from the boat. But how it got here is anyone's guess. The captain scoops it up into a pouch on his belt. Do I say that it seems the egg knows which way to go, or say that this is a trap and suggest cutting it your own path? Or attempt to use Miser's luck for insight? I forgot about Miser's luck. I think we'll be using Miser's luck, which is my... Did I not add it? Oh, that's not... Must have forgotten to add it. No, there it is. My goodness. 1 coin will point me towards gold nearby. Character sheet. Yeah, I'll do Miser's Luck. Okay. That was 1 gold, I believe. To activate the item, you must feed the coin of the same metal into the slot. So we're going to try to use Miser's Luck for insight. You produce a battered compass. That is the Miser's Luck. The captain narrows his eyes at it with a knowing smile.
So that's where old Gary's compass got to, he says. He was the Sundancer's cartographer until he went out one night in Port Plenty and never returned. You've got a lucky streak, adventurer.
He gestures to continue as you decide what to do with the item. I don't think I have platinum. I don't know if I have silver. I think I only have gold, so that might answer what I'm doing with it. Inventory. Yep. 1 gold. 279. You insert a gold coin into the slot on the magic compass. It makes a satisfying click, but then its weight vanishes. I remove 1 gold piece. Check. Where's my mouse? There it is. The needle leaps up to life, spinning around several times before settling into a wobble. At first it points toward you, then at the captain's gold-laced smile, then to the forest, and then around again to you and the captain. So what's it pointing at? Rain asks. Where's it saying to go? I don't have another type of coin, so I guess we're gonna have to just move forward. Do we use the path that is there, or do we try to use our own path? Hey, Nevin. Do we take the path that was surprising and just randomly there, or we take our own path? We're on Oki Island, and there's a path that looks like it was created by something large, and I can't figure out which way to go. Do we take the path? We arrived on the shore. The little egg drew an arrow in the sand and pointed in that direction. We're gonna go in that direction.
All right, no point wasting our strength cutting down bamboo if we don't need to. Let's take this pre-made path. I'm sure it'll be fine, the captain announces.
Captain, are you sure? Rain begins, but he waves off the question and barrels on ahead.
Bah!
The path has been made through the bamboo, though the bamboo is wide enough for you to walk at least 3 abreast, but is easygoing and safe. Shh! The captain's sharp smile hisses behind him. The sound passes quietly through the crew. You quickly see why the captain wanted you to remain quiet. right? Thank you, Jaded. You get me. And also, good to see you again. Um, Up ahead, the bamboo tapers off into a clearing, and there, sitting on top of a pile of bamboo leaves, dead asleep, is a giant tanuki. Italy was fantastic. Uh, the thing is bigger than a brown bear, a huge ball of fur that rises and falls as it breathes rhythmically. A paw scratches at the air as it sleeps. The captain goes forward, attempting to pick out the safest way through the bark that litters the floor to not disturb the sleeping giant. Ooh, that could end up bad. Alright, do we sneak past or deliberately wake it? So wake it? Is that what you're telling me? I'll do it if you say it. Alright, go big or go home. And I'm at home. One huge black eye has popped open and is staring at you. It blinks lazily.
Well, now you've done it.
The captain sighs. He looks to you for the solution.
Now what? I'd really rather not kill such a majestic creature.
I do not have a spell or ability that allows me to communicate with animals. I can do an animal handling check. A +2. It's not terrible. I have the power of heart. A 12. Do I have any inspirations right now? I don't know because I can't store them on this character sheet. So let me look at the other character sheet. I'm gonna try to handle this animal, and I'm gonna use my last inspiration. What could go wrong? Um, Animal handling at advantage. At advantage. Animal handling. 14 is bigger than 12. 263. Using your body language, you let the Tanuki know that you mean it no harm. It seems more sleepy than angry anyway, letting out a giant yawn and revealing a huge mouth full of razor-sharp teeth. Then it snorts at the air and turns its attention to the captain. The Tanuki presses its muzzle against the captain's belt pouch and bumps at it.
What is it doing?
He asks you, but he seems to answer his own question. He removes the jeweled egg and presents it to the Tanuki. The large, furry creature takes a long sniff of the egg and snorts one last time emphatically. Its gaze flits up and down the captain, who freezes. But the beast just pads around a little bit before falling back to sleep in the make-do bed. Apparently, you're allowed to pass, Opal says. Ribcage and Rain look at each other and shrug. Huh?
Seems so.
The captain says as the Tanuki begins to snore. Free to go, the crew hurries on to page 259. You and the crew continue toward the island's interior and the next leg of your journey. The bamboo that has surrounded you up to this point gives you to a new layer of forest, green and dense. I've never seen trees like these before, Rain mutters. The captain is at their side instantly, looking up into the canopy with a hand over his eye to block the island's sun from blinding him. um, he narrows his gaze onto a black and gray rock, walking over to it and poking it with his shoe until it is unearthed from the dirt. You then realize it isn't a rock, it's a seed.
Those are flowers,
He says, simply pointing up toward where the leafage of the trees ought to be. As as the gaze trails up what you believe to be overgrown bark, but now it's firmly recognizable as stem. You see spiky yellow petals so high up that you have to crane your neck back in order to properly see them. Thick leaves, each one the size of a boat sail, dangle down and sway in the wind. This is like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. All right. They're sunflowers, Rain mutters, unable to do anything but laugh in shock. Captain?
Ah, back to the matter at hand.
The captain says, returning his attention to the crew.
These giant flowers, that huge jellyfish, it's all connected. There's something strange about this place. I don't think anything can grow this big without some sort of magic being involved.
Ribcage huffs as he inspects a huge petal between his fingers, sneezing from the pollen when he smells it. Then the captain claps his hands together.
Right, let's keep going.
The path cuts through the shade of the giant sunflowers crowding it on both sides, so there's only one way to go forward. If you're able to sense danger, such as with the ability Danger Sense, or some similar effect, you can automatically succeed this check. I don't think I've got Danger Sense. Spells. Combat, I guess. Where are my feats? Where do feats show up? Skills and tools, maybe? Nope. Perception check. Not at advantage, though. Taking the 14 and failing. Bummer. Some vague threat tickles the edge of your senses, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is. Luckily, the new danger makes itself clear when woody ropes of plant matter burst from the forest floor. These tendrils of vegetation snap tight around you and the crew.
Ah!
Cries the captain, followed by a string of impressive curses and oaths. Ribcage shakes his head slowly in admonishment. Oof, big words. The only part of his body that can move under a thick layer of tendrils. What is this? Yells Opal as she struggles, her hands free, to cast a spell. Rain says nothing at all, though they flicker as they try unsuccessfully to duplicate due to the bindings around them. You don't have to wait too long for the answer to Opal's question as a thick figure rises up from the rotting vegetation and detritus and detritus of the forest floor. The rotting bits of sunflower beneath your feet coalesce into a vaguely humanoid form. Twisted pieces of rotten sunflower form its limbs and torso as strong roots reach for you and your companions. You're in a fight for your life as the island itself seems to attack and restrain you. The captain, Opal, Rain, and Ribcage are also all trapped in the roots and struggling to free themselves. Further back, other members of the crew cry out in fear and pain, and you can see them bound in thick cocoons of squeezing tendrils. Each round on your turn, you must make an action to free one of your companions. You may use an action. Yikes. So I guess that means I'm free right now? Sounds like. Okay. But I'm in a serious danger, so I need to change it up. And go to number 262. 262. Oh, jeez. That's large, so I need to make it a little bit bigger. Doesn't look like I saved its carnivorous sunflower. An arm class I like to have there. Date and save. And I can do a NTA. Got buttons now. Squeeze. Oh, I already had buttons. Oopsies. Do I have... No, I didn't get characters for the others. Alright. That and me. Means I need to drag me out. I need to drag the other me out because that's got all my stats on it. My buttons. Button, who's got the button? Okay. I think it's the witch. Oh, usually. When is it not? What do you know what movie I was referencing when I say button, who's got the button? Oh. I think it's an older quote than Buffy. Let me see if I can find it. Yep. The one I'm referencing is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And they're about to... I don't think it's the elevator yet. I think it's... Where are they pressing the button? I think it might be the Everlasting Gobstopper. Anywho, not really crucial to fighting a carnivorous sunflower. So... What's this thing? Speed is 20. Okay. If you're not restrained at the beginning of the Necronomicron's turn, it attempts to grab you with its tendrils. Squeeze. Beginning of the Carnivorous turn. Okay. So first, I'm going to try to free, I think, Ribcage first. How much HP does this thing have? Oof, pretty penny. Yes, large creatures take a 4. And then huge, and I think it's enormous, I think is the biggest one, is, so huge is 3x3, gigantious, I wonder if that's in the compendium. So this is not, obvious mimics, this is roll 20. Creature size. Oops, not 2024. Nobody wants 2024. Let's see. It's a good, usually a good, yeah, here we go. Gargantuan is 4x4, not. Tiny doesn't even take up a whole one. Small and medium takes up 1. Large, huge, gargantuan. And then if you do hex, which nobody does hex on this ground. Well, I don't. I can't speak for everybody. Ooh, I get cheap viewers. Ban. You are banned. Hey, you're not cheap at heart, though. Initiative. Isn't that what counts in the end? Cannot use that initiative because it is a jerk. Initiative. All right, I got a 21. At turn. How are we gonna do this? I think I need to rescue some people first. Hopefully that'll help. I don't know. I think Ribcage would make the most sense because he's got muscle, though Rain can multiply. I'm gonna try Rain first. Rain face is painted with fear as they struggle with their restraints. On the edge of panic, you approach slowly and carefully to remove the tendrils binding the young sailor, though the task is made harder by their struggles. When you finally free Rain, they sigh with relief and then split into 2 copies. Thanks, the original says to you. Let's not get tied up like that again. Rain splits into several duplicates to assist you and the others. As long as they are free, you have advantage on skill checks and saving throws. That was a wise move. And now it's their turn. If I'm not restrained at the beginning, they're going to try to restrain me. Alright. Luckily, I can use dexterity. And I have advantage on acrobatics, on checks. Acrobatics, +5 already. 11? Oh, I'm still restrained. Oh no. I am restrained. And that means that's the end of their turn. On my turn, I can try to get it again. It's a check. It's a skill check, so I'm at advantage. Acrobatics to get out again. I am still restrained? No. Okay. Its turn. It has me in its grasp, so it's going to... It's going to try to squeeze me. If you're restrained at the beginning, I just take squeeze damage. There's no... Ouch. Oh boy, that's not good. I don't know if I don't think the plant has ears. Don't think it'll hear me. Okay, my turn. My action is to try to get free, and at this rate, I'm gonna be just not doing well, right? Because I can't use those. Darn. Acrobatics at advantage. Oh my gosh, come on. Alright, it's their turn. Move this up here. Can we see that still? We can. And then, there we go. So it's going to try to squeeze me. And I just take... Oh my god, I just take the damage. Five this time. That's not good. Oh, I took... Now I've taken 9 total. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can potentially go down next round. Unless I can get the heck out of here. Do I have any... What am I missing on this character sheet? I'm still missing stuff. Unarmored movement. No. Speed doesn't matter because it can reach under the ground. Dedicated weapon isn't this. Flurry of blows would be great, but I have to get free. I have health potions. I might have to use a potion of healing. Alright. Action. I am going to acrobatics again, and this time I'm going to do it. And this time it's going to do it. There you go. There, I get free. I need to use a potion of healing. It's my only chance at this point. Let me see here. I need to take up less screen space with this. This is nerve-wracking. Nerve-wracking? I'm nervous. Alright, potion of healing. I regain... Oh, that's a weak roll. Getting closer. I'm free, so it can't damage me this turn, but I have already used my action. So, that was me. Back to the flower. It's going to try to squeeze me. Or it's going to try to grapple me, and I need to make a Acrobatics again, at advantage. Oh yeah, that ain't nothing. Um, I appreciate the cheerleading you're doing from the rave cheerleading. Um, so, do I attack it yet, or do I try to get Ribcage now? I feel like Ribcage might be able to help me. Rain helped me get advantage, but I think Ribcage will help me get more damage, I'm hoping. You move to free Ribcage, and you can see that the ropes of vegetation holding him are already straining against his great strength. You just have to clear a few roots before he bursts from his restraints and whips the massive warhammer off his back. But first, he favors you with a nod and thanks. He even grunts? Oh my gosh. I'm so happy. But first, he favors you with a nod and thanks. He grunts. Then he starts swinging his enormous weapon at your attacker with little apparent concern for his own safety. Uh, Ribcage uses a massive hammer to smash your enemy to pieces. As long as he is free, he deals 10 damage to the carnivorous sunflower per round. Alright. Carnivorous sunflower is going to reach for me. I'm going to go whoop, dodge. Let's go back to 262. So I'll just do his on my turn. He missed me, so it's my turn. I think I will. I'm curious what the other ones do. Opal might do something cool. Captain, I don't think is going to do much. As you peel away the roots constricting Opal, you first free her face. Now my hands, she cries, and you also free her hands for spellcasting. With a few words of power, she summons a sharp lash of water from the air around her and starts attacking the tendrils around you, all with wild abandon. Opal uses her magic to clear the tendrils as best she can. DC to save against them is now 8. Oh my god. What's the captain give me? I'm hoping the captain is like nothing, because he's just... Okay, so that was my turn. Its turn. I have to get at least an 8. I got an 8. So now it's my turn again. And I'm going to get I'm freeing the captain. Let's do it. You work to free the captain. As soon as you pull apart the tendrils holding him, he makes good use of the opening and wiggles free. He unsheaths his sword and dances past the writhing roots to hurry the main growth of the plant creature. Oh, it took damage. So it took minus 10. I clicked on there. Minus 10. 32. All right.
Excellent work, adventurer. Continue on while I distract the thing.
Captain inspires you to fight better. As long as he is free, you have advantage on attack rolls. Okay. This thing is going down. It's its turn. It takes another 10. If I just hold out for 2 more rounds, we're good. But not root, yeah. I see what you did there with the roots. That's creative. I'm just mad I didn't think of it. Its turn. It tries to grab me. I have to get an 8. I survive at advantage. My turn. Now it's just combat time. I will use my short sword. Try to hit a 12 AC. I hit a 12 AC with a dirty 21. And I deal 7. And Ribcage does 10, so it's 17. Down to 5. Its turn. It's going to try to grapple me. And hopefully fail miserably. Doesn't matter. Acrobatics. I have to roll a 1, 2, or 3. Yep, I'm good. It goes down this round. Let's see if I do it or if... Oh, I could have also done unarmed strike. Anywho, short sword. At advantage. Dirty 20 hits. A slash. And I take it out. -8. And then I feel like even after Ribcage would still do another -10. Because he is brutal. The Curse drops to 0 HP. Go to 272. Let's clear this. With a final blow, the creature melts away into a pile of mulch and quickly decaying flower petals. The pirate stands around. Oh my goodness, my family is texting. The pirates stand around you, panting for breath, as the tendrils fall limp to the ground. Captain Sharpsmile surveys the scene and helps you to your feet.
Not bad, he pants. Not bad at all.
You're shaking as you all head back on track, following the captain the rest of the mercifully short journey to the other side of the floral forest. Here, you find yourselves at the base of the huge volcano in the center of the island. Suddenly, the pouch on the captain's belt starts jumping about frantically, and in surprise, he opens the catch. The jeweled egg jumps straight out of it, rolling around on the ground to bump up against the mountainside where it starts hopping, clearly attempting to get higher. With obvious trepidation, the eyes of all the crew swivel upward when they realize it's telling you that you're going to have to climb the volcano. Oi. As the cliffside in front of you is impossibly steep and filled with obviously loose stones, you collectively decide to travel around the base of the volcano looking for an easier way up. 260. You spend a long time trudging the circumference of the mountainside, but your efforts are for naught. With no other choice, the crew realizes they're going to have to climb up the sheer side of the volcano as first thought. And spirits are low as a chorus of groans surfaces. Trying her best not to look smug, Opal pulls a bright green feather out of her bag, whispers a few magical words, and begins to float vertically up the cliffside. Oh, you're a jerk, Opal. I can make it either athletics or dexterity to climb. Come on, dexterity. Acrobatics again. Excuse me. If I get a 13 or higher, I get a 15. If you get a 13 or higher, you can have, or have climbing or flying speed. After some effort, you reach the midway point of the climb, so there's no turning back. The captain is huffing as he chambers up the side while Ribcage lumbers so heavily up the cliff you can feel the vibration as he moves. He doesn't seem to notice the effort of heaving his bulk up the cliff wall. Rain, on the other hand, seems to actually be enjoying the climb, using their mechanical arm to create new handholds and using their experience in ship's rigging to practically glide up the rock face. Another strength or dexterity acrobatics. Not an advantage. 10. Ooh. 266. Oh, you make the classic climber's error of looking down, and in the process lose your grip on the cliff. You tumble free of the rock wall and plummet toward the earth. I will be a dexterity saving throw. Dexterity save. 16. I take half of 5 is 2.5, so 3 damage. Ouch. If you survive the fall, 290. It is a hard climb for most, especially after trying to hack your way through the jungle. But you are all able to make it. You wipe the sweat from your brow as you heave yourself onto a plateau in the volcano's side. Do tabaxi sweat? Huh. As you stumble onto the flat ground, you feel the captain's little hand reach out, grabbing your attention. He nods forward and gestures, "Look!" You follow where he points to see the huge, daunting mouth of a cave. He leads deep into the volcano, having carved a massive chunk out of its side. Gigantic stalagmites and stalactites jut from the ceiling and floor, giving the whole thing the appearance of an enormous maw. The others head forward and find something very interesting indeed. An abandoned campsite. A handful of canvas tents have been erected, but they are utterly empty, except for a dozen skeletons around. Judging by the leaf and twig debris, they haven't been touched for a very long time either. The ground off to one side of the campsite has strange marks in it, and there's a treasure chest just visible next to one of the tents. Though even from here, it's obviously already been smashed into. Captain Sharpsmile, Opal, Rain, and Ribcage glance around at each other and spread out to have a closer look at the strange sight. At a couple of quick orders from the captain, the rest of the crew fan out to set up a brief camp. Is anybody actually here to help me with this, or am I? Let's see. Jaded might not be around. That's fine. Do I examine the broken chest, strange marks on the ground, or long dead bodies? Drunken Master, kind of stumbling back and forth. What am I going to do? I'm going to look at... What are these marks, I think? I think I'd look at the marks on the ground first. Rain and Ribcage are standing over strange marks on the ground. They look like long, wide scrapes. As you approach, you realize that they are larger than you originally thought. What do you think this is? Rain wonders. Ribcage shakes his head, holds out his arm as wide as they can go, then flexes a bicep. Agreed, Rain says with a nod. Something large and heavy was dragged out of the cave, then back in. But I don't see any signs of someone carrying it. Perhaps could that have disappeared over time? Or maybe something moved itself? All that you can add to their assessment is that the edges of the apparent drag marks are very regular, so this seems to be a straight-edged object. And then I'll look at the bodies next. As you approach the bodies, you see Opal is standing over them chanting, casting spells over the remains. Just making sure they stay dead, she says without prompting. Examining the area for anything magical. It seems that everything is magical. Or nothing. Oki Island is just weird, it seems. Looking closer at the bodies, you see that they are bent and twisted with multiple broken bones. It's as if they fell from a great height or were thrown with great force. Looking up, there are no visible ledges or prominences on the sides of the volcano. In fact, it's just a steep slope covered in loose volcanic glass all the way up to the smoking crater. Well, that should do it. Opal nods her head proudly at a job well done. With another nod to you, she wanders away from the corpse she was working on. Looks like I'm looking at the broken chest. The captain is already looking at the cracked open treasure chest. While not especially lavish, it was clearly of good quality with heavy brass fittings and thick wood. It would have taken a lot of force to break it open like this. Peering inside, you see what appears to be a tray covered entirely with large round depressions. There are an even dozen of them.
I wonder.
The captain mutters. He pulls the jeweled egg from his pouch and sets it into one of the depressions. It fits perfectly.
What does it mean?
The goblin doesn't acknowledge you at all as he stands toying with his tuft of a beard. He just stares at the egg, occupying just one of the indents, apparently custom made for this very purpose. If nothing else of interest, you can regroup your companions.
Looks like this is the perfect place to rest, the captain says. We'll set up just inside the cave mouth and bunk down till morning.
Thank the gods, groans Opal, sitting down heavily. Ribcage huffs a similar sentiment, staking out an area in one corner for himself. Rain gives one of the dead bodies a nervous glance, but the apparent weariness on their face seems to override any anxiety they might feel about the corpses. I'll take watch, Opal says. As long as I can rest my legs, I'll be fine. She goes on to say her meditation is light, so no need to relieve her. Excuse me. The captain doesn't think twice and flops down under a tent. Rain is more cautious, but also finds a place to settle in for the night under another mostly intact tent. I'm going to risk the long rest. You're treated to a tropical sunset over the tops of the sunflower forest. But The sun quickly dips below the flower line, and evening advances into night. Rations are handed out, and the group of you sit around a campfire created by Opal, snapping her fingers. The energy is one of quiet excitement, a quiet excitement. The captain stares into the fire, its gleam shining with his eyes, like two gold coins. Opal sits quietly reading from her spellbook and mumbling through her practice. Rain is staring off into the cave and speaking in low tones to Ribcage. The bugbear has pulled out his silver hairbrush and is methodically working from his head to his toes. At some unspoken cue, the rest of the pirates go to their chosen sleeping spots, leaving you alone to find your own rest for the evening. A long rest. Whew. Much needed long rest. I don't know if I could have done this at level 1. This is brutal. When dawn lightens the sky, your merry band of pirates breaks camp and prepares to go into the cave. With that, I'm going to call it. I'm going to go hang out over with Jaded Mystic and oh my goodness, I forget the name. Shame on me. Fawcett. Fawcett, that was it. And because I can do it, I'm gonna do one of those raid thingamajiggies. So everybody, thank you for joining. Where is my raid button? Raid channel. Start raid. I don't know how this works still. With that, everybody have a good one.